All right, Shalom.
Shalom, yes, brother.
First and foremost, we want to give all the praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kabadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, who rule and teach well, Wa Barakathon, unto the hopeful elect. All right, now today through the Spirit, now I have the brother Gadal here.
Shalom.
Part of the GMS Dallas branch, and we're going to be going into covetousness, man. And that's what this world pushes. This world pushes a spirit of covetousness, and that's a demon. You know, you not being satisfied with whatever the Lord gave you. That's what by means of social media, by ways of commercials, everything. It's a covetous spirit that goes out in this world, and we're not to be a part of this world. You see, we can't let this world corrupt our minds. But that's one of the things that this world pushes. Is one of the big demons Esau tries to put on us is a spirit of covetousness, and that's the whole setup of social media and the way everything is set up. It makes you not even think, you know what I'm saying? You're not even satisfied with what you got. Okay. You know, and that's basically what we want to go into real quick on this video. You get that Ephesians 6 chapter, Bible Shah?
Okay, this is Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 11. It says, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Yeah, put on the whole armor. The whole armor goes to the shield of faith, the word, which is the sword. You see? The breastplate of righteousness, then you had a helmet of salvation. Those are the ways you're gonna be able to withstand all these different things Esau's throwing at us. And one of the things he's throwing, he wants you to be covetous. He wants you to not be satisfied with what the position the Lord put you in, whether that be in the world, and also it goes into the truth as well, because that demon will hop on you in the truth. Okay. You may be desirous of what another brother in the faith has, man. But at the end of the day, as me and the brother was talking about earlier, you know, the Lord gave brothers different lots for a reason. For example, you know, that's why you had those men that tried to cast out demons. They said in the name of, they basically tried to cast out demons in the name of I believe it was Paul. And the God that Paul worshipped, they tried to cast demons out, and the demons said, we know you not. And they basically went inside of them and F those dudes up. But they were trying to have a lot that wasn't given unto them. They wanted another man's portion. And that's not how the Lord is not dealing with that type of spirit, a covetous spirit. That's how Esau is. He's never satisfied with his own portion. You see, he always wants what somebody else got. That's why it's never no peace with him.
God, it made me think about the 5 talents. All right, you know that 5 in the scriptures. That 5 talent is just as important as the one that had that 1 talent. All right, because everybody got their role to play. Like the Lord gave you that portion for a reason. All right, because He wanted you to play a certain role. All right, because if it was up to us to pick our roles, everybody be King David, right? You know, as you already see going on, everybody want to be King David. But no, it's order to it. Everybody just like your body, bro. All right, your hands got to do specific things as well as your feet got to do specific things. All right, but it all has its own part to play. And if your body was trying to get out of order, then your body wouldn't be able to function correctly. That's why it's important to really just be content with what the Lord gave you. All right, and on top of that, it's not like the Lord's not going to increase you from what you have already. All right, just like talking spiritually wise now, as far as like if you might not have as much money as a certain brothers or some brothers or whatever, that's cool. That's cool. Be content with what you have. As long as the Lord is taking care of you, it's really all that matters. All right?
That's why another example of that is that's why the Lord put a thorn in Paul's flesh. That's also in, I believe, 2 Corinthians 12 chapter. It goes into how the Lord put a thorn in Paul's flesh. Now, why did the Lord do that? It tells you. It said to abase him. So that way he wouldn't get exalted. He was going to exalt himself above the church, so the Lord humbled him down. You see? So sometimes, a lot of situations you in, like you might not be as good at health as the next brother, it's to keep you humble. It's for that your life, for you to stay in the truth. The Lord has it set up where He won't let you have certain things, or He might have another brother have certain things. You see? But it ultimately is all for our own spiritual journey. Because we know the scriptures, Romans 8:28, all things work together good to them that serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Right.
So whatever situation you in, it's for your own good anyway. So some brothers, they might not have, they might not be as good at health, but it's gonna keep them humble. You see? Or some brothers, they might have more money, but they're able to manage having having that and stay in the truth. The Lord gave you that much money, you maybe wouldn't be in the truth. You see? So that's the spirit we got to be in, being content. You see, not being desirous of what another man has. You see? That's why it's even a scripture in Corinthians where Paul also went into ultimately, like, he should not say that he should be of that number. Like, I should make myself to be of that number. And it goes into, like, basically us being, like, not being desirous of another man's position and where he's at in the ministry. You see? So that's basically what we're touching into. We can go back to Ephesians, Bible shot.
God, this is Ephesians chapter 6, and I'm at verse 12. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places."
You have all types of top, high-level demons. And you see they're trying to knock us out the truth. One of the things that knock you out the truth with is envy, that spirit of covetousness, man. You wanted to have the high seat. The scriptures say, take the low seat, and let the Lord come and exalt you. He that humbleth himself shall be exalted. So that covetous spirit will try and hop on you, and you'll try and, like guys are saying, like brother was saying, guys saying they're King David, or trying to ultimately just have the position of another higher ranking member of the body. Well, guess what? A lot of these guys that's doing that are desirous to that, the Lord messed around and gave you some type of power, and now look at you. They bugging out, going off. You see, the Lord will give you what you asked for, and you won't be able to bear it. You're not suited to be in that position as, let's say, a head of a camp, or let's say to have a portion that brother has, because to whom much is given, much is required. So if the Lord gave a brother a higher portion than you, that brother has to balance out. He has to do the works with that portion that he has, and if he doesn't, then the Lord will judge him for that, man. So you might think you want to have a position that the brother might have as much, let's say, much wisdom, knowledge, understanding, but you got to realize that with that he has to spew all that out. You see, he has that responsibility of bringing out more videos or doing more stuff because he has a higher portion, like you know what I'm saying. So whatever portion the Lord gave you, you got to be able to handle that. Because you don't want to bite off more than you can chew. But the point of the video is not being covetous. That type of spirit is being pushed out on his body. Esau has all types of high-level demons into the way his world and society is ran. So it tries to make you be covetous. Like, you'll see all these fancy-ass, flashy cars, all these different women the other man have, and all this stuff, and it's like a slap in the face. Like, yeah, you ain't got that. That type of spirit is what Esau pushes out. The way social media is set up. It'll make you think your life is just trash and it sucks, and you won't even be satisfied with what the Lord gave you. You see? So we got to be aware of that spirit. That's one of those demons that Esau is pushing out. Now, Baba Kashai, if you can grab that
Exodus.
God, we get that.
God, this is Exodus chapter 20 and verse 17. It says, "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's."
That is thy neighbor's. Thy neighbor is the ones of your fellow fold, which is fellow Israelites. All right? But that's in the law. The Lord actually has a law that we're not supposed to be covetous, but that spirit is being pushed out on us heavy, so we got to be aware of it, man. You see? Wanting to have another brother's position, wanting to, covet means to lust after. Like you lusting after another brother's house or woman or money, whatever the case may be. You got to be aware of that spirit and be satisfied with what the Lord gave you. You see? And ultimately understand that it's for your own good, the position that you're in. Because whatever position you're in, you're able to stay in the truth and keep serving the Lord in that position. That's why the Lord put it to you. And then guess what? And also we got to realize that all these situations we in is temporary. So the Lord will sometimes have you in a temporary moment of where you like having a jacked up situation, but eventually he'll make it end and he'll make your situation better. You see? But that's just what your lot is. So we gotta be satisfied with our own light and maximize our own light, not try and maximize another brother's. You see, be content. Now we can get that Philippians Bible shot.
God, this is Philippians chapter 4 and verse 11. It says, "Now that I speak in respect of one, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content."
So whatsoever, Paul had all types of experiences. Baba Kashai, real quick, let's go 1 Corinthians 11 and like 25. Because Paul has been through all types of experiences. He has he can speak on, you know what I'm saying, being abased or going through different things, because he did his walk in the ministry. You read about that in the book of Acts, like later on in the book of Acts, all the stuff he's been through. Going to the book of Corinthians, he speaks about it, and Timothy. You see, Paul speaks to these letters to these churches on the things that he dealt with. Philippians, all right. So he's one that can speak that way. But he said, be content to be satisfied regardless. You see, you shouldn't be in the spirit of being covetous, like wanting. You see, like let's say somebody in a better position than you want them to be in their position. No, you got to be satisfied and be content. You got it, brother.
You said 1 Corinthians?
Yeah. It might be 2 Corinthians. What is it saying?
Oh, I'm looking at 2nd right now. It said, thrice was I beaten.
Yep.
Okay, I figured it was that one.
Yep.
It's 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 25. It says, thrice was I beaten with rods. Once was I stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day I have been in the deep. In journeyings, often in perils of water, in perils of robbers, in perils by my own countrymen, in perils by the by the heathen, in perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren, in weariness, in painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and thirst, in fastings often, in cold and nakedness, beside those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches.
Yep. So hey, those are all things that Paul went through. Yep. You see, so he was able to speak about being abased. That's why I wanted to grab real quick that example. He went into all our things that he felt with being stoned to death, having to deal with all the churches. These are things he had to deal with. You see, so he can speak on being abased, man, being in a low position. But he said, when you're in these positions, or you're in them lower points, or in a point where you'll want to be in you like, man, I don't want to be in my shoes. You got to be content. You see, and not covet, because we're going to be brought low in our walk. The Lord is doing that to build us up. It says, King David said that it's good that I've been afflicted, because it made me to know thy statutes. So we're getting afflicted in different situations. So that spirit of covetousness of trying, you might end up like, man, I wish I was in a bad brother position. He ain't suffering like me or something like that. You can't be in that type of spirit, man. Yeah. Speaking to myself first and foremost, you got to be content. Now we can continue on about the shot.
God, this is Philippians chapter 4, we read verse 12. It says, I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need.
Yep. He knows how to be in whatever position the Lord puts him in. You see, that's how that spirit we got to be in. And this world tries to make you, you know what I'm saying, be in that covetous spirit. You lusting after somebody that's in the world. I ain't suffering as much as I am, or something like that. Nah, man. We can't let this world corrupt us like that. You gotta really
be content. In other words, really just be content with the manna, which is what the Lord given you already.
The truth.
All right, yeah, the truth. All right, now when you begin to covet after everyone else, you're basically asking for that quail, as we did back in the wilderness, right? Asking for that, basically that quail. And if the Lord gives you that quail, which is something that you wanted, right? It's going to destroy you. All right, Lord will give it to you just for you to destroy your own self. So it's really important to be content with the manna, which is the truth, which is what the Lord has given you already. All right, as long as you have this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, as long as you're able to say, you're able to call upon them names in truth and sincerity, man. Hey, man, be content. All right, it's easier said than done. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, what else you gonna do? Like you said, you're gonna cover after someone else. You're just gonna make the Lord mad doing that. All right, there's nothing wrong with wanting more wisdom, more knowledge, more understanding, but don't go in it. Don't go in it in a sense of like, I want to be like that, brother. All right. Because there's nothing wrong with asking, oh, Baba Shah, can you increase me in wisdom, knowledge, understanding, whatever it is. But you shouldn't be wanting to be, Lord, make me like that, brother. You know?
Yeah, don't lust after another man's portion. Because you just might not be able to bear it.
Yeah, Lord, give it to you, which is really would be quail in your sense. I'm like, yeah, you wanted it, here you go. This is all the things he had to go through. And the Lord made him in that way to where he's able to go through it. That's why it's his walk. That's why everybody got their own individual walk. All right, some similar, but none the exact same. All right, but
next precept.
God, we give. All right, cover the prophesy. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 39. It says, "Wherefore, brethren, covet to prophesy."
Desire to do this work.
Yeah.
Desire to serve the Lord. That's what we got to desire. What does prophesy mean? To see, to be a seer. Also, you can say the word preach, to publish or proclaim this message. That's what we got to covet to do. You see? That's what we got to set our mind, be lust, like desirous of. Not desirous of trying to do other things.
Yeah.
Like have another brother's portion, all that different stuff. Nah, man. This world pushes that. We're not in the world no more. That's the last one.
It says, "And forbid not to speak with tongues." But that was it on that.
God, yep. What else we got?
We got Romans, carnally minded. If you want
Yep. We'll end off with that.
All right. This is Romans chapter 8 and verse 5. It says, hold on. It says, "For they that are after the flesh do the mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit the things of the spirit."
God, yep. Those that are of the spirit mind the things of the spirit. You see, that's what we got to be. Desires to the spiritual things. That's what coveting the prophesy mean. That's part of what coveting the prophesy. You desiring to be in the spirit, to serve the Lord. All right. But those things that's carnal is like having more money, more riches, things on this side. You see, that don't matter. That's temporary anyway.
Yeah, things that's gonna get burnt up here.
Oh yeah.
You know, especially with the times we're in, we should, be praying for as much as we can for spiritual gifts, for the Lord to make us ready for what we finna about to go through. All right, which is the time of Jacob's trouble, which is gonna be a time never before seen. All right, as I was saying earlier, man, there's nothing wrong with like pretty much asking for basically the spiritual things. Really, that's what the Lord wants you to ask. He wants you to ask for the spiritual things, not these carnal things, not these things of this world. All right, because it's temporary. If anything, the only thing we really should ask is honestly just for us to get our daily bread, just to make it through the day, every day. All right, because that's all we really need. Because our job is to serve the Lord and keep His commandments. All right, so if we're doing that, then we really should be content.
And that also be spiritually minded. It shows you understand that it's temporary.
Yep.
You see, you don't look at this stuff as the end all be all. Lord is trying me out. You're in a spiritual mind. You're not in a carnal mind. Oh, dang, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. This situation happening. You're looking at it as in the sense of like, okay, the Lord is trying me out. He's building me up. He's testing out my faith. That's how you be spiritually minded. You can go ahead and continue on.
God, verse 6, it says, "For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace."
Your mind is after the life, Yahweh Shai, the peace, the gospel, the doctrine. But carnal mind is death. All these mortal thoughts, death thoughts, fleshly thoughts, temporary thoughts. You got it.
God, verse 7 says, "Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh Shai, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh Shai, neither indeed can be."
And that's why we got to walk in the spirit, because we're in this flesh. So we don't always be in that spiritual mind, because we're in this damn flesh. We fall short. That's why Paul said in Romans 7, the things that I would do, I do not. However, we got to battle this. We got to battle this flesh, man. And part of us battling this flesh is like we're going into in this video. We got to be like ultimately stay satisfied with this truth, with serving the Lord. And regardless of what position the Lord put us in, we got to still keep serving Him and be content. And not and getting that covetous spirit, which the world is pushing on us, man. You see? That's really all the point I had on that.
God, yeah.
Anything else?
Nah, that's it, bro.
God, yep. Well, hey, Lord willing, this was edifying. We like to end it off by saying, call Allah.
Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakabadash.
Live on earth, city, apostle, elders, a great millstone, and root and teach well. Until next time, Kwame Shalom.
Shalom.